Hey, Sam, I have a question.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you?
You got your Genius cloth yet? Did you buy one?
I did. I bought one for my grandma. She gave me money for it when I saw her.
Don't you have your own too?
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's not the same as when your grandma buys one, but it's just as cuddly.
You know who doesn't have the Genius cloth yet?
I don't know.
Can we get a drum roll? Do you have a drum roll sound effect?
No, I need to get one. I was thinking about that. I haven't upgraded to the latest OS on this thing. We don't have the drums. We don't have the...
It's Rene Ritchie, everybody! Rene Ritchie's on the show. The most anticipated guest, maybe?
I don't know if the Genius cloths are legal in Canada. We have to get the Prime Minister to weigh in on this.
Do you think Rene's the most anticipated guest ever?
I'm not sure. Probably.
I feel like he is.
For me,
Tim
it probably
Cook would be
is
the most anticipated guest.
Rene, you are. I think I think I say this for every guest, so take this with a grain of salt. But out of all the YouTubers that exist, I think I look up to you the most. Like I think I have for
Canadian.
years.
I don't blush. I melt. Stop it.
Okay, here let's get a full screen of you melting.
I brought you a little something, John.
Oh, thank you so much, Rene.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, you're wearing
audio
an Petit
listeners.
404 shirt too.
He straight up
solidarity.
held up a roll of toilet paper. He's wearing the front page tag.
I
That
looked for my
FPT
bike
404
helmet, but I
merch
put it away because it's winter here and the same person is on the road.
Oh, also, just
The
a
hot take
prerequisite
helmet.
that we've discovered. Rene is funnier than Sam and I both. So for this episode, I'm going to need to ask to just make us look good, okay, Rene? Just tone it down.
Yes.
Just chill.
Yes. I'll stick
Renee,
with
I want to
puns.
ask you. I want to ask you something that you already brought up, and I feel like I just want
Okay.
to ask every guest who is like very affluent and well connected in the Apple community this question. Have you ever met Tim Cook?
I feel like affluent. It's like you have a lot of apples. It's like you're Apple wealthy.
Yeah.
It's the most amazing thing. I've met Tim Cook a few times. I like Tim quite a lot.
Whoa.
The weird thing about Apple executives is they are exactly like they are on stage. Like they come off stage, you see them, and they talk the same way, they have the same temperament. And that's not at all normal in the consumer electronics space because I know people from other companies and it's night and day. Like they'll get off their fancy Android stage, pull out their iPhone and get down to business. But Tim sounds like Tim, Craig talks like Craig, Johnny talks like it is almost eerie, but it's also endearing.
Well,
That's so cool.
so I think we forget that, Rene is like Apple's golden boy.
No.
Yes.
My name
you
is
are
not
But in a
Apple
good
Store.
way. No,
Yes.
but in a good way. Like, because there are people that I feel like review Apple products, and it is just like only hype and only fun. But like, what I really enjoy about Renee is that I've always enjoyed. Well, you're a writer by trade, right? Like that's what you did most of your life, correct?
I started off in product marketing, actually. So I was on the other side of the fence, but it was in enterprise software. And I love marketing, but enterprise software is deathly dull, boring. And I have to talk to like SAP and HP and like IBM, but like not the cool IBM, which is scary because there's no cool IBM all day. And it was just deathly dull. And then I found what became Mobile Nations, and I got hired by Dieter Bohn, who's now at The Verge, to write about Apple. And I was like, there's one phone on one network in one country. Am I really going to have something to write about every day? And he's like, oh, you just wait. Just wait.
And now we don't. Now there's a huge news drought all the time. Like
So
every
how
other
People
month.
say that, but like then
Yeah.
Quo says something or Sam says something or
Yeah.
I don't know, a fapata goes up and the entire world has to turn itself back on.
No, we don't talk about those days. We don't. We don't talk about those days. We have to wait until we simmer down from the flat edge Apple Watch before we mention anything else. We have to let that die down a little bit.
Renee, do you have anything to say to John about his fake Apple Watch?
All
leak?
right. So the first ad for the day.
No, I'm just curious. Is it going to be the new SE or is it going to be there's 3 new watches next year. It's going to be one of them. So which one is it going to be? Because like to me, it's not as attractive as the current Apple Watch. And I think Apple wants the SE to be less attractive
You don't-
than the current Apple Watch.
You think the flat edge one is the SE? Like there's a chance that it's the SE?
That was Gruber's theory, and then I saw someone else say that it could be the Extreme or the
rugged,
rugged version
yeah.
ends up being. Yeah,
I mean, that makes sense because flat edge iPhones are like super durable.
yeah,
that makes
unless
sense
they
to
go
me.
and like make it really like adamantium or something.
Yeah.
like really, really ugly rugged.
Here's the issue. That watch exists. Somewhere
Yes.
behind the walls, it exists. And I mean, I guess I didn't really entertain the theory that it might be the rugged watch. I think Sam, you like planted that in my
Yeah.
head.
It's going to
And
happen. I'm telling you. Like,
you
I
think
just
it's the
see it.
rugged watch, not Series 8. You think
Absolutely.
Series 8 will be like this?
Absolutely. 100%.
That's Sam,
Because
that's very bold.
They're not. There's no way that they're going to change the design. Like the Series 7 was like a major design update. I mean, a major quote unquote, like the biggest in a couple of years. I don't think there's any way they do that for a year and then say flat edges. And the whole time, like I remember when I first saw the images that you shared of the flat watch, I was like, oh my God, new watch. Yes, flat edge, everything. And then the more I thought about it, I'm with Rene. I'm like, this doesn't, number one, comfort wise, like wearing this on your wrist 20 hours a day, 12, 15 hours a day. Like, I just don't think it would be as comfortable. It might cut into your skin a little bit more. Number two, like, it just doesn't look as good. It's blocky. Like, some people like that, but I don't think it would look as good on the wrist as like a fashion
the Apple
accessory.
tag
right?
didn't get the square design for a reason. You know, they do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree with Rene and that it doesn't look as good. And for me, it makes like, now you're convincing me even more because like the iPhone got stronger when it got the flat edges.
Yeah.
And
like
if the
you've
watch
seen
gets
the drop
flat
tests
edges,
of iPhone 12 and 13, like they don't break.
it's
Yeah,
really
because
good.
they don't have the screen. The screen's not curved anymore. It's flush mounted onto the frame. for
Yes,
support.
exactly. And that is like, so for the CAD file that I shared in the last episode of Front Page Tech at the end, you can see where there's literally a space for a flat display. So it looks like it would be flush, which
It looked a bit
I don't
bigger.
know.
I don't know if you did that to scale, but it did look bigger as well.
Yeah, it was a little bit bigger. Yeah.
It did look
Yeah.
bigger. I agree.
And I
so
would tell
your
you,
new
like, I would, like,
size-
if I thought it wasn't real, like when The Verge put out that wedge-shaped iPhone 5, and I knew that wasn't the iPhone 5, and I just like, nah,
Yeah.
that ain't it, Chief. Nah. So I would tell you, but like that, I think that's perfectly acceptable as one of the next Apple
Well,
Watches.
that's the thing. Like, I don't know if I ever sent them to you. I would never, because of your relationship with Apple. We wouldn't do that. But I have sent images to Sam of the actual thing, and that CAD file that I shared in the last episode, we got that, I think, almost exactly 2 weeks before the event. But I'm a fucking idiot because I saw it and I was just like, oh, the one on the left is like Series 6 or like the SE, and the one on the right is the new one because I was told that's going to be the new one. But if you look closely at the CAD file, I literally had what became Series 7, like what was announced. It's literally sitting right there on the left of that CAD file. But right next to it is that new one. Why are they in the same CAD file? I wonder why they're side by side, or what, like in what context that makes sense. Because unless, I mean, to me, in my head, the thing that makes the most sense is that they get released together.
Yeah.
Like, are we looking at Series 8 and rugged side by side?
Yeah, there'll be an SE, Series 8, and rugged. I mean, that's what Ross Young said.
I know,
and
but
he's
you said
100%.
you're 100% sure that the flat one is the rugged one.
Yeah. It's going to be the.
Are you eyebrow sure?
believe, I mean, I'm pretty sure, dude. Like, I don't have much eyebrow.
you
like, they're just
Elon
blonde.
Clough
You wouldn't
sure?
even.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty confident because I think the next SE, I think, is going to probably take the design language of the Series 7, where it's a little bit softer, or maybe they just reuse the body of like a Series 5 again. But yeah, I think it's going to. There's going to be three sizes. It's going to be the SE, then it's going to be the Series 8, and then it's going to be the rugged, because I just see it. I just see it on the website. The rugged has been rumored by Gurman multiple times. Gurman knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, we were supposed to get that this year, and then that didn't happen.
But even in your video, you said,
wait a minute,
next year.
No. Gurman, when he mentioned the rugged watch, he said
Yeah.
originally that it was coming this year,
That's true.
but then it got delayed. Is that why I got the flat edge one? Was that
Probably,
like
bro?
the rugged one that was coming but then didn't? I don't know. Leaks are hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Renee did leaks. Did you know, Sam, back in the day?
I've seen you tweet about that, but I feel like I just wasn't like conscious because I don't remember that.
Yes, I forgot. Sam's like 16.
The original
Was there
iPad
any?
Mini.
What?
And that was funny because Gurman and I both got the iPad Mini and Apple Maps at the same time, and he published Apple Maps and I published iPad Mini, and then we were talking and going, "Wait, what? You?" And it was this random chance we chose to go the way that we did. It was super amusing. A bunch of iPhone events. I got the Lightning. I think I was the first one to report about the Lightning port. But that was all back in the old days.
So, if you don't mind me asking, I think we've talked a little bit about it privately, but for people wanting to know publicly, why don't you do that anymore? Why don't you partake?
I found it like a few reasons. One is that it was always super stressful because like I had it and I would multiple source it because I never wanted to be wrong on the internet. It's like one of my biggest fears is to be wrong on the internet, which is bad because leaking is like a risk reward like ratio game. You got to always make those gambles. And then I would stress about it, and you worry that if you waited too long, Gurman or Pachowski or somebody else would post it.
Yeah.
So you couldn't wait overly long either. And then I would post it, and I'd just sit there stressed for the next few hours because like once I had the date for the iPhone event, and I said the iPad was coming at the same time, and then a week later, Pachowski's like, the iPad event is separate. And they were super polite back then. I don't know what's happened to the leak community since like these days, but everyone
It's
was
not like
so
that anymore.
nice to each other and like so considerate and like, yeah, you got that one. I'm going to build on it with this one. It was so, and I was just, and then also a bunch of my friends went to work at Apple, and then I don't ever want to put them, like, because they would never look at anything. They're all total pros, but I would never want to put them in a situation where Apple's like, so, you know, this person who's been, you know, chatting things up all over the internet. So I got really low key for a while. Like I would just write hypotheticals like, you know, people say they want a smaller iPhone, but I think what they actually mean is they want a smaller case. So wouldn't it be cool if Apple ditched the home button and just made like a full screen display? And then
so basically,
like
iPhone 10 was iPhone 10 was your idea.
No, but like, you know, you know, there's like after you've been around for a while, you hear things and then like they just start moving in your head. And also, Apple's a really logical company. Like compared to some of the other companies that just splatter things everywhere, Apple makes very few products. They tend to iterate on those products, and there's obvious points that they want to address. So it's not like hard to predict, maybe not exactly what they're going to do. And it's totally obvious in hindsight. You look back and go, well, of course they were going to do that. And then after a while, you just start to see, oh, like these are the next 3-4 moves they're going to make eventually. And then it's like, is that even a leak at that point? It's just like, I know what that person's working on. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, now you're like, you have a really good working relationship with Apple. I feel like that's why I said you're like their golden boy, because I feel like every other personality online making videos or whatever, they get the products early, and they're inclined to say either nothing, like just repeat the event, and that's their video, or they it's very high praise. I feel like you have the freedom to kind of say whatever you want, and Apple just sit back and go, you know what, yeah, that's fair. Renee's probably right. If Renee's saying, he's probably right.
Well, I mean, they want feedback. Like a lot of people think that if you're like negative about stuff, they'll disown you or something. And the thing is, like, it's just a relationship, and they value honesty, and they have the sense of innate fairness, and they know what the problems are in the product. Anyone who works in product marketing or product engineering, they know what the problems are, and if you point them out, they're just like, yeah, that's fair. And I have a reputation for loving everything, but if you actually go through my videos, I'll be like, I love ProRes, but trying to take it off with Lightning is complete garbage. Like there's just no way that USB 2.0 is like why can they think of a fast storage solution but not a fast export solution? So like those sorts of things to me is where the product breaks down. And if I don't say that, there's less chance of it getting better next year, because they have the same arguments that we have inside Apple. And there are people who want one thing and people who want the other. And they use everything from like radar bug reports to people on Twitter to the articles and videos that get posted to try to fight their arguments, to win their arguments. And I want like the things that I want to win. So the only way I can do that is by expressing, my displeasure at the things I don't like.
I was just sitting here and like for the last 5 seconds completely didn't hear what he was saying because I was just looking at the set behind him. And I was just like, oh, what's that? I like that. For audio listeners, you don't really get to see it, but if you, don't we have the YouTube URL now, Sam?
Yeah, we have youtube.com/geniusbar.
So easy for the audio listeners. I don't know how the hell we got that, but for audio listeners, if you want the video version, youtube.com/geniusbar. Do you think Apple will come after us and
take
slay
it the way
us?
Facebook took Metaverse?
Yeah.
John, this is a candy podcast.
It is a candy podcast. Yes, you are correct. It's definitely not about Apple at all.
Also, for the way trademarking like works, we couldn't like generally you have to file this is something that I learned when I was looking into like trademark filing, and you like there are multiple Apple companies in the world. Like there are multiple Apple Incorporated in the world, or at least companies that use Apple on their products. Like there can be an Apple farmers market or an Apple like cereal, right? You just couldn't make a technology company or put the Apple logo on shirts because that infringes on their trademark. So like that's why if you're driving down the road, you might see, an Apple Family Care or something, because it's like customers aren't generally going to be confused and walk into there trying to get their iPhone fixed because it's like, this is obviously not an Apple store. So that's why you can see multiple brand names that are the same. It's just because they're completely different. As long as
Fix
you don't
my
confuse
iPhone.
them, that's like,
We're Apple movers, bro. We don't fix your iPhone. Fix my iPhone.
yeah. I mean, sometimes like, I think that you guys remember the Pear lawsuit, like
Yes.
from a couple years, like a year ago, where they were like, this looks like an Apple. And it was like, dude, like, it's just not. Like, it's not even close. A consumer would not get confused. But I think, like, I would never do something that I felt would be legally, like, not okay. Or even ethically. I don't want to just take Apple's thunder. It doesn't feel right. Like, Genius Bar podcast, people are not going to be confused and be like, this is where I get my iPhone fixed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they're going to come after us. Oh, look at my sweater; it's so nice. I don't think they're going to come after us legally, but I wonder if, like, sometime in the future, they'll want that URL, and if they do, they could buy it from us. But I'm sure they would just reach out to YouTube. YouTube would be like, here you go. They're Genius Bar 2 now.
Here's
like,
$1 billion
okay, you support
off
VP9 now. We'll do this for you.
It'll be like, we'll give you $1 billion discount on Google search default,
So I have an interesting story.
There's an example here that's interesting because like that Pear lawsuit was completely dumb, but there's also like this propensity for like there's this idea in the last few years that cynicism equals like authenticity and negativity like equals honesty. And like the Pear thing, like there's I don't know what the right word is. It's like copyright. You have to defend a copyright or you're at risk of losing it. So Apple would rather a court say, no, it doesn't infringe, than Apple just not do anything, because then at some point someone's going to infringe and they'll go, well, you didn't defend it these last 3 times, so you've relinquished rights to it. So it's super annoying, but they're a company that has limitless funds. They would much rather just have lawyers sort it out. So anytime anything like that happens, trademarks, copyrights, patents, they're just going to say, we want a court ruling. And that's what it's going to be. And it's going to be super dumb, but they're going to be like, we didn't have to decide. The court said, so next time we go to court, we have no position. We'll just litigate the whole thing all over again.
Yeah. I have an interesting story. Renee was talking about earlier that when he's met Tim Cook and everyone, that they basically just pop off the stage like they're the same person in person when you meet them. I have an interesting story because I got recognized yesterday.
Nice.
But we should do the ad first, shouldn't we, Sam?
Yeah, let's do the ad.
I'm figuring it out, audience. I see what I just did. Instead of interrupting the guest to go to an ad, I interrupted myself. You see what I did?
This is just great. I mean,
big brain
what an
move.
entertainer we got. What an entertainer.
Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so this is how we're going to do it, audience. We're figuring this out together. I'm going to cut to Sam and I, so you don't have to sit and watch Renee. And Sam and I are going to do the ad. Renee, you can go like to the toilet or get a drink, whatever you need to do for the next 30 seconds. Never mind, you don't have to leave. You have the toilet paper right there.
What Renee has not told you is that this is his bathroom.
Yeah.
This whole thing is a green screen. It's just like flushing all behind me.
Okay, we'll be right back with Renee. Okay, it's Sam and myself. Okay, which one should we do first? You pick.
You pick. No, you pick.
Okay, I pick a fun one. I pick Mint Mobile, everybody.
Dude, I really like Mint Mobile. Yeah, sorry, round of applause.
You forgot your soundbite. There you go.
This is so good. Like, I mean, I don't even know where to start with this. Like, all the main carriers suck.
Yeah, you want to feel dumb in the next 30 seconds? Do you use any of the main, 3 carriers?
Here's the deal. You're probably overpaying for your stuff.
You are overpaying.
Your data. And what if you could get a great deal for Mint Mobile, who has premium cell service? Like, it's got 5G. It's got the nation's largest 5G network, because I believe it bootstraps off of another popular one. But they're like, hey, we're going to make this cheap. But you say cheap, it's like, oh, it's probably not as good. That is not true. I have been using this. Like, they sent us SIM cards to try it. I have a business line now because of Mint Mobile, which is so sick. Like, I have people call me on my business line. Dude, it's so cool. Like, because you don't have to give out your personal phone number. So whether you're looking for your main line to save money or you're looking for a business line, it's like, it's so good. I can't believe I haven't had it. And like, usually I was like, I wouldn't add a business line because I'll be paying double my cell phone
like, that's
bill.
not worth it. But
with Mint Mobile,
especially for the holiday season, you get a really good deal right now. You can get Mint Mobile right now if you switch to Mint Mobile. If you're listening to the show right now, you go to check the link in the description or in the show notes. When you sign up right now and buy any 3-month plan, you get an additional 3 months for free. You get 3 months that you pay for, and then 3 months that they just give you.
That's 6 months of self-service for the price of 3. It's so good. Listen, you guys can do this right now when you go to mintmobile.com/genius. That's mintmobile.com/genius. They say you can cut your wireless bill to $15 a month.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That doesn't sound real,
I know.
It is because I've looked at their website.
It's multiple times in the copy, so we know that's accurate. $15 a month.
No, it's so good. You guys got to check out Mint Mobile. At the very least, just like look, you can try it out. They're a good company. Like they've had good customer service when I had to activate my SIM. Very, very good. I don't have enough good things to say. I just love that I have a business line now. Thank you, Mint Mobile. Mintmobile.com/genius. Get a 3-month plan and get 3 months free.
Yeah. Unlimited talk, text, 5G network. Pay for what you use, not for what you don't. Mintmobile.com/genius. All right. Thank you, Mint Mobile, for sponsoring this episode of Genius Bar. Little bit. Okay, I just gave him a little one.
Yeah.
Okay. And back to the show. Hi, Rene.
I made a steaming hot cup of apple Kool-Aid.
Hey. As if you weren't drinking it already. Am I right? Sam, give us what the old one,
man,
too.
I'm so wasted on apple Kool-Aid.
No. You don't have like a laugh track?
No, that's the... Oh.
Thank you. That's what I need. I need a backup.
That's the apple Kool-Aid.
I was at Walmart yesterday. Like you do.
Oh, you got recognized at
I know,
Walmart.
dude. The most embarrassing place to be recognized. Like not an Apple store or a Best Buy or like, I don't know.
Did you have a mask and a hat on? Don't you normally go out pretty stealth?
Yeah, I do. But I did not have a mask on yesterday. And I was walking like down. It was just towards the end of the store. I'm walking straight and this guy is a worker. I have a picture with him. I probably shouldn't show it on the podcast because he didn't give me permission to do that. But he's walking towards me and he does that look where you know that like he's going to say something. He knows that he knows me. And I'm like, okay, do I want him to know me though? Because whereas Tim Cook and Craig Federighi, they're still like, they're in character when you meet them. I am not. I am not the same person on the show and I'm not prepared to meet you. And so, and I always forget, like when I'm at Walmart, dude, just like looking at underwear.
Jon Prosser?
Yeah. I forget I'm that dude, and I'm just like, I'm just at Walmart, and all I want is I want underwear and like a magic kit. That's all I want. I'm just roaming around Walmart trying to get myself a magic kit. You don't know, Sam,
God.
or like
I don't know. Clearly not.
Or
I knew you, but
or just like French fries to go into oven. That's all I want, man.
Oh, I do love the crunchy
So I'm just walking to Walmart. He gives me the look, and I'm like, oh God. I brace myself, and he walks by me. I'm like, okay. I'm in the clear. So then I go into an aisle, but then he peeks his head in the aisle and I think he was like, he recognized who I was and he's like, okay, am I ready for this social interaction?
You.
Yeah. He's like, do I go up there? And he's like, yo, man, I just want to ask if I can get a picture. I was like, oh yeah, sure. So I had like hyped myself up with anxiety thinking this was going to be a terrible interaction. And he just asked me for a picture. We took a picture and then went our separate ways. He wasn't even like, hey, you're the guy from the thing. For all I know, he thought I was somebody else.
Everything Apple.
He thought it was like Dale Earnhardt Jr. I don't know.
Like a dozen YouTubers, and he still doesn't know.
Yeah. He's probably like, hey, man, your eye update.
Did you think he was going to be mad about the Apple Watch? Like, why would you be stressed about it?
No. It's just like, when I'm out in public or like even at home, like as soon as we're done with this, I feel like I'm a different person. Like I on camera, I'm still Jon Prosser, but I'm turned up to 11. And when I'm just out in public, I'm just like, I'm not ready to be a character. Like I'm not up for that social interaction. And especially if like someone recognizes me in the public, it jolts me awake to that character. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. So I thought that he was I have a lot of social anxiety as it is.
Yeah.
It's amplified when you know who I am. And I feel like you have an expectation when you meet me that I'm going to be a certain way. Yeah. So I thought he was going to come up to me and it would be like this really awkward conversation. And I'd stand there for a half hour trying to leave. But he was really cool. I wish all my social interactions like that were exactly like that dude.
Yeah.
Maybe you need a posse. Like a posse would just yell out, no pictures, no autographs, Mr. Prosser is shopping, stand back.
Yeah.
And they only meet, and I have a whole posse that roams with me and I get recognized like once every few months. That's it.
That's perfect.
Rene, do you get recognized a lot over in...
I mean, not for the last 2 years. I haven't gone anywhere.
That's fair.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, like for a long time, I was just mostly writing. So that not as much, but then more recently,
Who
like
is
with the
that?
YouTube stuff. That's Greg's Gadgets. We got called on.
That was quick. God damn it.
But
I
like
gotcha.
sometimes it backfires on you. Like once I was getting onto an airplane and I was walking through the front of the airplane where the affluent people are, and this person just yells out, "Rene, I love your show!" And like all these people turned to me expecting like an actual celebrity, like someone who would have a show, and there was just like massive confusion and disappointment on all of their faces. And I just walked as fast as I could. I just like, thank you, and walked as fast as I could to the bleacher seats in the back.
That is
Oh my
exactly what
God.
happens to me. Anytime someone like sees me in person, they're like, "Hey, you're John." I usually turn around like this. Like I'm not prepared. I don't look the same. It's
You
awful.
just say "Hoder," and you run.
Yeah. I go.
That's
I
so
have done that before where
interesting.
someone's like, "Hey, are you Jon Prosser?" I'm like, "No." I just kept going.
Meanwhile, Sam
he
has like a
definitely didn't buy
line and autographs and.
I don't know, dude. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of enjoy it. Like, there's a sick part of me that enjoys.
No,
it.
that's cool.
And-
I enjoy it too.
And like, I don't think
after
that's
the
like.
fact.
I'm not saying that's healthy for my ego or whatnot, but like, I don't know. It's cool. I feel like
What? You're
I
the
know this is a
well-adjusted
weird-
person. Why are you apologizing? It's John and I who are like the antisocial, anxiety-ridden people. You're just like a person. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you can always get to the Sam Kohl stage. There was a point in high school where I sat in the back of the classroom and I didn't talk to anybody. And I had extreme, like I've worked through an insane amount of anxiety. Like I know everybody assumes the internet's like, you're YouTube, your life's good. Like I've had a good life. There have been points that were not good. 2-3 years of high school, not the best. And I was the quiet kid. Like I literally terrified to talk to anybody, couldn't have a conversation, would unironically sit in the back of the classroom and would panic if I ever got called on.
Oh.
Like that's a different
Yeah, I feel
person than I
that.
am now. Like when I got to junior, senior year, like I started to grow into myself. In like college, I was like, no, like let's do this, let's get this shot. Like I was much more involved and I felt more comfortable. But like no, I understand. Like I've been there. You know, I don't want to like say it to discount your stories because like I understand what it feels like. But now I'm just like a sick egomaniac that is like, I'm like, I didn't get recognized this week.
So you're saying you charge for autographs now?
Yeah.
No.
Or like
no.
when Sam leaves Best Buy, like just sad because he expects to get recognized, and on his way out, he's like, "Are you guys sure?"
And they're just like, Sam,
no,
Sure you
it's
don't know?
Sam. And he's like, bowing,
nice
doing
surprise.
An encore and
It
I feel
is
like I have a
nice.
friend.
I
everywhere.
will admit it. The feeling is nice after it's over. Like especially yesterday after it went really well. I was like, "Yo, that's awesome. If it was that every time, that's great." And I was like, "Hey, I feel good about that. That someone because you see the numbers on YouTube. It's cool that the number is attached to like real people, and I got to meet
Yeah.
with real people, and that's awesome. But it's the knowing that the interaction is going to happen when you see it coming. Where I'm just like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready.
Yeah. I've also been really lucky. Like most of my fans have been really cool. There was only like one fan interaction that I've ever had that was super uncomfortable where I had to be like, all right, I'll
That's
see you
Rene.
later, man. Like, bye-bye. Because it just was going on for like so long. But no, most everybody, like on Black Friday, I was checking out and he was just like, yo. I was like, hey. He's like, hey, you're the, I update? I was like, yeah, what's up, man? And he was like, oh, dude, I love your stuff. I was like, thanks, man.
See, that's a
And then he
perfect
just like
interaction.
went back to checking people out. Yeah, like that's the interaction. Like, that's what I would do if I ever saw somebody that I really liked. Just be like, hey, really like, show them some love and then move on. Like,
Didn't
don't,
you
don't
get
follow 'em.
recognized because of Genius Bar like a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Someone
when I
just
was at-
you're like, hey, you're from Genius Bar. Just completely
you're Genius Bar
forgot that you
famous.
have a YouTube channel.
that was the first time that's ever happened. Like where I've been recognized for something not I update, where I was just at a Buffalo Wild Wings, just eating with my friends. And like it's that like high school kid comes by, he just goes, "Oh, Genius Bar guy." And I went, I was like mid teriyaki wing. I go, "Yeah," and then he just walked past. Because it's like, what do I say to that? Like, I saw the guy he either sent me a DM or he was in the live chat of our Genius Cloth live stream. And he was like, dude, I'm so sorry. I was like, my mouth was burning from like spicy wings. Like I couldn't think. And I was like, it's okay, dude. Like, no, it's nice. I don't know,
lovely.
it's fun.
I
It's
once
a
went
weird
through
thing.
customs and the guy asked me what I did and it was like a completely normal customs experience. And at the end he goes, yeah, I watched your YouTube channel. I just wanted to see if you're going to tell the truth or not.
What?
Oh, that's dark.
Because he'd be
set
like,
us
build me
up.
another YouTuber.
Yeah.
Just say your Linus.
Yeah. Canada's one big little place.
Oh.
Speaking of being a YouTuber, you are a solo YouTuber now for like the last what year? Has it almost been 2 years?
2 years in April. It'll be 2 years in April.
Whoa, that's crazy. So, are you a fan of the solo experience?
I really like it. Yeah. I mean, obviously, like it's not going to suit everybody. Some people really like teams. Some people really like offices. Some people really like working for big media companies, and like they pay for all your travel and they have a bunch of like clout, and it's interesting. But I just love being an indie YouTuber now because like I just get to do what I want. I don't have to. I've ignored Black Friday 2 years in a row, which is like fantastic for me because that used to be like a never sleep weekend extravaganza, and I don't go to CES. Well, I guess I couldn't go last year, but I wouldn't go to CES either. So it's just like there's a lot of really nice things about being indie.
I don't know if am I allowed to ask
for sure.
why you decided to go independent? Like, was there a reason, or
you can ask me anything,
did it
John.
just happen? Okay, that's
AMA.
I'm putting that on the table. Why did you decide to go independent? For context, you worked at iMore for how long?
Yeah, so I worked at iMore, and towards the end, I also helped out running all of Mobile Nations, which is like Android Central and Windows Central, and there was just a bunch of other websites. And it got to a point where Mobile Nations was like founder-owned. It was like just one person who owned and operated. There were no investors, there were no VCs. It was just like one person. The guy who originally started Trio Central way back in the day. And he sold. He wanted to get out, so he sold to Future, which is one of the biggest media companies in the world. They own like Anantech and Tom's Guide and Tom's Hardware and Tech Radar and like, they're cool people. The CEO is a Scottish lady. She's like, I don't want to be number one in Google. I want to be number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in Google. So I want to own like all the sites. And I'm like, you go. That's great. But it became very corporate. And at one point, I had this discussion with one of their video people, and they're like, yeah, well, to be honest with you, the best thing for us would be if you just made videos about why people should buy a Nintendo Switch, and we'll put those in our embedded player and run ads against them. Just like, yeah. And I was also tired of building other people's empires because, like, if you're not the owner, especially if you're like creative, you're making all the stuff and they're taking all the money. Pretty much. And I wanted to build my own empire. Like it's a really small empire. It's like Liechtenstein.
But it's yours,
sort of
goddammit.
But yeah, it's mine.
No,
I get to make
cool.
what I want, and I get to either fail or succeed based on what I make.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the thing, Rene, is I've never gone through that, and I can't fathom doing what I do and having somebody skim the top off. Like that would, because it's one of those things where it's like once you get outside the walled garden, you're like, oh my God, I was in there. But it's like when you're in there, it's like, oh, I'm comfortable. I'm getting like maybe a salary, and I've never gone through that. So it's fascinating to hear you talk about that, because I feel like those would be the exact same things I would describe if I had been in your position, where it's like,
and
you
it's
can
not
only
just
build
skimming the
somebody's stuff
top.
for
It's
so
like
long.
you work at McDonald's and you work your way up to manager at McDonald's, but like there's a franchise owner. Like they're just like, they're taking everything and then you're getting a salary. And a lot of times, especially in big media companies, those salaries are terrible.
So you, right before you went independent, you did videos on the iMore channel, and that was like the hierarchy. Like you didn't really have control over that.
So I was just a little burned out because I had basically I helped run all the sites were very independent for a long time. And at a certain point, they decided they wanted them all running the same way, like with the same scheduling, organization, and content types. And I basically took on making that happen. So getting everybody onto the same planning system and all of that. So it was a lot more work, and I didn't get to write as much. And it was like a really weird feeling when the first day went by that my name wasn't on iMore. And it was just like, but no one else had time. And I didn't want anybody else to be doing it because then they'd be bossing me around all day, and I hate that. So I just I took on that role, but then I wanted to do something creative. And spite is like a huge motivator for me. Like back in the day, my friends were like, your voice is terrible. You'll never be good at podcasting. So I'm like, I'm going to podcast every day. And then my boss at Mobile Nations was like, you are so awkward. You're never going to be good at video. Just if you ever have to do video, all I want to see is B-roll. And I'm like, I'm going to do video. I'm going to sit in front of the camera every day. And so like that was me. Like I want to just make, and they didn't help me. Like I just started doing it. I don't even think I asked permission because they got Michael Fisher and Mr. Mobile at that point, and they spun off someone else to do like modern, like dad sort of content. And I'm like, they can do YouTube. I can do YouTube. So I just did it on my own time. But because of the deal we had, everything I did was owned by them. It's sort of like, anything you do while you work for a company that's in that field. Like I could have done movie YouTube, and that would have been mine. But anything technology related was owned by them. So I was just like, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm going to prove I can do it. And then I started doing it, and I'm like, I can do this. I'm going to do it on my own.
That's so fucking cool. Like, I know the idea sounds so... Yeah, here we go. Rene Ritchie, everybody.
All right.
Okay.
The music sounds patronizing after he tells that story. The applause was just
It's
like
all good.
heartfelt. Then you throw in the sponsor like. We're not
Okay.
here dunking on Rene. He just told
Okay.
a really good story.
I feel like for us, like that idea is so foreign, Sam, like going
Yeah.
from like sort of
I
working
couldn't,
under
like-
somebody to then being independent. But Rene came from a time where like all this stuff was new, and that's how like he started it somewhere else. So when video started to be such a big element, like that was like the natural way up. Which for us, we were just like, I don't know, I make videos in my bedroom. Here we go. That's what we
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Well, it's also like I was writing 1 million words a year, like at iMore, and it just like I wrote everything I wanted to write, and I wanted another challenge. And I'd been podcasting for 10 years, and video I didn't know. It was like scary, and that made it really interesting.
Well, it also helps that Sam, when you and I started, we were kids. Like Rene has to pay bills and stuff. He's an adult.
Yeah.
there's a lot of
like I
risk.
started. Yeah. No. Exactly. Like I can't imagine. I can't imagine how scary it would have been for you to jump from this company that's like, this is me, and then just go independent and start. Go from it was Vector, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, the fun thing is, like, I quit the first day of March, but because everyone thought there'd be an Apple event in 2020, I gave them a month's notice. I said I didn't want to leave you hanging in case there's an Apple event because
That is
Apple
a
doesn't
classy
invite-
Rene Ritchie move.
Well, no, but the thing is, like, Apple doesn't invite outlets, almost ever. They invite specific people. So, like, Ryan Block leaves Engadget. Ryan Block still gets invited. Jason Snell leaves Macworld. Jason Snell still gets invited. And it was unclear. Like, I knew Serenity would still get invited, but, like, leaving her on her own. Actually, no, Serenity had already left. Lori would get invited, but like leaving Lori on her own, she hadn't done that many at that point. It felt like a real jerk move. So I said, I'm going to give you 4 weeks notice. And then, if there's an event, I'll totally cover it for you. And then halfway through March, Canada shut down and then America shut down. And I was like, I just made the worst decision of my life because I quit and now like the world is gone.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That had to be-
Dude,
so-
you really.
How long did it take before like it was worth it? Before you realized, oh shit, this is gonna work. It's worth it.
Well, I was lucky because the person who was handling all the ads for Vector was actually a friend of mine, Dave Wiskus, who runs Standard, the agency. And we'd been friends for a long time. He was actually in the Apple community. He was the designer for John Gruber's Vesper note-taking app.
Oh, cool.
John Gruber and Brent Simmons had made it all together. And he's designed some really famous Apple apps that he can talk about and some you can't because they were done on contract, but really, really good. And we'd been podcasting together for years and he'd done this business. So I just moved over to him. So I knew I'd have sponsors. I mean, I'd have to deliver because sponsors,
Right.
like they want a certain amount of deliverables, but I
Yeah.
had that opportunity at least. And that was incredibly beneficial. And not to rub it in or to be a jerk or anything, but in Canada, like we don't have healthcare. Some people think we do. We have medical care. Like we don't have any preventative stuff, but we have like basic medical care for everybody. So I didn't have to worry about that, like going off insurance or anything. And that took a lot of the stress out of the decision.
Yeah, we need that here, I'd say. I was
You'd
just
say?
thinking about that, like being self-employed. I was like, why do I have to spend like thousands? Because I'm gonna be 26, which I'll be off my parents' plan because that's when the law ends. Like, do you have insurance? How do you? Yeah, how do you? You're older than that, John. How do you get insurance?
You're older than that. I'm so old I have Medicaid by now. No. So yeah, it's like I have to renew in January, and it is very not affordable. I mean,
See, it's like, why
to
can't
be
I have
fair,
the government pay?
to
for
be
me?
fair, because I know what people are going to say in the comments.
So much tax.
For me, it is affordable. I will say that. Well, obviously, we are in a different position, and we're very lucky, very, very lucky. We also choose to be self-employed. Some people, they have a job with benefits. We don't really have that. We choose to be self-employed, which means we got to pay for it ourselves. But there are tons of people who have neither. They're not in the position where it is affordable, and so it's them we got to think about. I don't want to seem like an asshole being like, oh, it's so expensive, as I sit here like wiping my ass for a YouTube video.
Yeah,
With a blinking shirt.
that's important.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's motion detected, so every time I move, it blinks. Isn't that lovely?
I keep
Is it
thinking it's a
detected
Spider-Man
to
suit,
you or
but it's
us?
not. It's a holiday sweater.
Yeah, it does look like Spider-Man.
I was gonna. Oh yeah, I guess so. Oh, that just ruined it. God damn it.
No, it doesn't. Spider-Man can celebrate Christmas too.
Oh, I thought about saving this for next week, but I have a different plan for next week. So.
You know what does look like Spider-Man though?
Oh, okay. Hang on. I wasn't ready for the segue. Okay,
The
now I'm
Policy
ready for the
Genius
segue.
website.
Okay.
It's red, white, and black all over.
Is it?
Dude, I
Do you
love
see how
Policy
fast I
Genius.
switched to the ad read? Hang on, I didn't do the
That
music
was
for
really
Policy
good.
Genius. They deserve it
We
too.
had no warm up for this one.
Yeah, Sam really just raw
I like
dogged this
Policy
ad
Genius.
for all of us. So go ahead, Sam.
But you don't have to raw dog life with Policy Genius, guys, because you can get your free quote from them in just minutes. This is so great. You guys know life insurance is important. All right. You might not want to admit it to yourself because it sounds like a hassle, but it's something that's important.
Yeah, you never need life insurance until you do. And usually by the time you do, it's too late.
Listen, if someone relies on your financial support, whether it's a child, an aging parent, or even a business partner, John, that's you.
Do I have to get life insurance and write you in?
Yeah, we both do.
In case something
we
happens to me?
definitely both do.
Okay.
Listen, this is how you do it. You might say this sounds complicated. Let me tell you how to get life insurance right now. You can head over to policygenius.com, just straight up policygenius, POLICYGENIUS.com. You answer a few quick questions about yourself, and in minutes, you can work out how much life insurance coverage you need and compare personalized quotes to find your best price. And you can save 50% or more on life insurance by comparing your quotes. It's on the homepage. It's literally life, free quote in minutes, save 50% or more. It's a beautiful website. Like the web design of some of these are just getting too good.
Yeah,
So pretty.
life insurance is very complicated, but luckily with Policy Genius, they make it not that way. Just head to policygenius.com. I realized, I was wondering why, why didn't they give us like a custom URL? Sam, do you know why? Because then it would be policygenius.com/genius. Genius.
But I mean, they've how do they track?
I don't know.
We'll figure that out later. All you guys need to do is go over to policygenius.com to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. That's policygenius.com. The team works for you. They have thousands of 5-star reviews across Google and Trustpilot. Did you know since 2014, they've helped 30 million people.
Well, you should
Shop
make
for
it
insurance,
30
John.
million and one.
30 million and two. If it's you and me, buddy.
PolicyGenius.com. Thank you to Policy Genius for sponsoring this episode of
The Genius Bar.
The Genius Bar. Okay, back to the show. Here we go. Ready? Here's the cut. Boom. Renee's back.
Look at that.
Were you
No, you
prepared?
can drink. You can drink your tea. What kind of tea was it?
It's apple Kool-Aid.
Apple.
Oh,
God damn it.
we are all drinking that.
So are we? I think we're allowed to say this on the show, right? That
John,
you-
you're like, am I allowed to do this with no context of what you're about to do?
I know.
And I'm like,
talking
I don't
to myself.
know, maybe.
No, I'm saying we're not. Are we allowed to do this? Myself? That's how
Yeah,
you should do
okay.
it. Yeah.
So it's like more of a self-consent.
Yeah.
I understand.
Sam and I won some sort of award today for an ad read we did. Like it was like the
Yeah,
ad
dude.
read spot of the month within the agency or something.
From Ad Results Media, baby.
I guess for what? For
They're a big
No,
one.
they didn't sponsor this episode, so we don't mention who they are. But we won an award for them.
No, they definitely, I think they're the one who sent us a couple of, dude, I'm literally looking at one that says AR. It's literally Policy Genius is who that was through.
What?
Yes,
No, it was Zen
says
Business,
Ad
wasn't
Results
it?
Media. It says Ad Results Media in the corner of the
Oh, okay,
copy.
but we won it for Zen Business.
Yeah, because they also work
Yeah.
through Ad Results Media.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we won an award, so can we say we're an award-winning podcast now?
Yes.
Wait, I think we
Outstanding
can.
performance of an ad read.
I think we can't. We'll leave out. Okay. Plan, Sam. We just say we're award-winning, and we don't say it's for like an ad read unless someone explicitly asks.
Okay.
We are award-winning podcast. We're an award-winning podcast.
Technically, though, wouldn't you argue that an award for an ad read is the true testament?
Yes,
Because it's like
'cause
if
it's
we're
even
winning an
more
award for
creative.
an ad read, the show's
Yeah.
got to be out of this world.
Yeah.
Now, like that feels better because, like, if you want an award for a show, it's like, but it's like, no, this is like an. Maybe it's the other way around. But
Yeah. We
I
won.
like
We
that.
are an award-winning podcast that has had Rene Ritchie on the show officially now. Speaking
Because
of,
Anthony Hopkins winning for Silence of the Lambs, big deal. It's Silence of the Lambs. You guys won for an ad read. That's like
I got to
skills.
follow. I'm going to follow you, Renee. So we have this thing on the Genius Bar Podcast Twitter account where we follow every guest that we've had on. So it's like a little Genius Bar alumni
Aw, that's so sweet.
Renee, I'm curious. What's in your
wallet.
What's in your pocket? What's in your wallet? No, what's in the pipeline for Rene Ritchie in 2022? You came on the scene hot in 2020. There's been a little pandemic.
A
You get
little one. Yeah, just
boosted.
a small one.
You go
Someone
into
did a
like some
pandemic.
Walmart stalls. Like you going worldwide. You dropping an album. Like what's happening for Rene in 22?
You know, I really don't know. Like, I try not to think too far ahead because everything changes so much. And like, I've been talking quite a bit lately about like the changing YouTube dynamic over the last month where, yeah, like I like this stuff. I love YouTube. YouTube is like the most interesting thing to me since Apple, just because of like the dynamics of how it works and how like the whole functionality of the platform, it's fascinating to me.
Yeah.
But like tech YouTube was down a lot this year. Like I went through a ton of creators and like you see this 2020 spike and then you see, whoa, drop for 2021. And then the events go up. But then when there's no event, people are like, I'm not locked down anymore. I got my new iPhone and my new MacBook.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. Maybe I'll watch your video on Tuesday. I feel like it. And like just trying to understand what that means is my current pet project.
Well,
Do you feel like
need
tech
to
YouTubers
tell us all that you learned because we need it.
Yeah. Do you feel like tech YouTubers over focus on the analytics, Rene? Because that's what my perception has been.
So I think there's like a spectrum, and I think a lot of times the analytics aren't understood. Like they're just a tool. And one of the things that's been most helpful for me is to like, I don't even think about an algorithm anymore. I just think about the audience, because the algorithm, its only job is to follow the audience. It's like all it wants to do. I think people have a misunderstanding. They're like, I make a video and it's YouTube's job to find me viewers, and that's like completely backwards.
YouTube
just wants to find videos.
I absolutely
for people.
hate that.
Yeah, it's like they're entitled to it. Or like, I want to make any video and I want everybody to watch it. And it's like,
or
actors don't get that.
If it doesn't do
they
well,
make a different movie nobody watches.
If it doesn't do well, it's that stupid algorithm again, holding us down.
Yeah.
But like if you have the world's best, like if you start a restaurant, you work really hard, all you make is like Shanghai noodles and you're famous for it, you love it, and then you come in and one day you give people haggis. They're gonna be like, what the hell? I didn't sign up for haggis. I signed up for Chinese noodles. You totally destroy my expectations. I'm not eating this. And you're like, this isn't fair. I made haggis. Why isn't everybody eating? It's like, no, like when people subscribe, sometimes they subscribe just to give you a high five. Sometimes they subscribe because they like the content. Sometimes they needed a specific thing. They got it and they've gone. But like you've made an expectational deal there. Like they signed up for a reason. And if you keep giving them more stuff to love, they'll stick around and watch it. But if you start doing a bunch of random stuff, they didn't sign up for that. So you can't expect them to watch it.
That's the secret to Front Page Tech is when you subscribe, the next video you get, I will give you exactly what you subscribed for. There's no like, a lot of people subscribe to channels because you answered a specific question that they had, and then then they never watch again unless a similar question comes up, or just maybe you just like satiated whatever thing they needed in the moment, and they're subscribed to the piece of content and not you. But with Front Page Tech, I mean I hope they're subscribed to me, but also I give a promise, like if you subscribe, I will give you this show. And that's literally all you get. I think that's why Front Page Tech works.
Up front. You say it every episode.
Yeah, but also then I'm trapped because I can't do anything fun. Or if I want to do a podcast, you can just start a whole other channel. Yeah.
See, that's what gets me, John, because I was thinking about that, and so I've had a couple content strategy changes in my career that I can like note. The first was when I started showing my face back in like 2015.
Oh yeah.
The second one was when I stopped covering jailbreak tweaks and jailbreak content, because that used to be my main thing. I used to mainly do iOS and jailbreak, and then I was like, this market's crashing. And by the way, I don't care about it. Like it was to the point where I was like, I don't care about this. So it's like, it's time to evolve. So then it was like, okay, I want to do Apple iPhone news. And then it was like, wait, why don't I just do all Apple news? Like I was like, I'm tired of pigeonholing myself. And then I was like, wait, I'm doing Apple news. I'm showing my face. I'm not doing jailbreak stuff, but I'm really boring. Like I just kind of sit here and just talk. And I literally had this conception in my head that news should not be funny. And then after going to college, it was like, no, dude, the only reason news works is because it's all entertainment. Like news, everything on TV is entertainment. That's everything on TV, except maybe, I think the one argument we made was the C-SPAN channel that literally just broadcasts like government hearings. We're like, I think that's maybe the one channel on TV that's purpose is not entertain. By the way, C-SPAN has the lowest ratings every single year on television and always will, because it's obviously not entertaining. So I was like, I should be more funny.
And the thing is, like, YouTube doesn't care about subscribers. Like if someone subscribes to you, they only care about whether you watch or not. Like you don't want, if you can choose between somebody subscribing to you or somebody watching 2 or 3 of your videos, pick that every time, because recommendations are based on watch history, not based on subscribers. When YouTube serves subscribers, people stop watching, so they stop serving subscribers. They want to serve people who enjoy and watch your videos. And the only way to get more of that is to make videos that people keep wanting to watch and enjoy.
Yeah. And also, you don't get paid when someone hits a subscribe button. That's not a thing.
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw those like changes in my content. And then recently I've been reflecting with like things being a little bit down. You know, I go through these periods where I get really down about myself and my career because of the analytics. Because I'm like, nobody's watching. Renee's video got more than me. John's videos always get more than me, and it's just
Your
like
videos always get more than mine. That's what I think. That's when I look at them. I'm like, Sam crushed me again.
But the thing is, it's like, first of all, what I really appreciate about Tech YouTube is that it's like, yes, it's a competition, but like, it's also not. Like, I have noticed a healthy change in how I view like all my, like everyone's my friend. I feel like for the first time, like I used to see Jon, like I literally hated Jon because he did better than me on some videos. It's like, do I get more video views per year than Jon? We'll leave that for the anime.
Can I interject
Jon
something,
just gets more
Sam?
per video.
Because this is so interesting to me, because in the blogger world, especially in the beginning, people were literally like, you were trained to treat other sites as enemies, because Google SEO in the early days was based entirely on time on page and getting click through. And so people would bury the sources. They would try to like not link out. They would put it maybe at the bottom. They would rewrite the entire post so you'd have no point on like clicking through it any like. And they saw it like as a zero sum game where if you read Engadget, you weren't reading Gizmodo. So it was like all at war. But then YouTube, everybody is in everybody's sidebar. So to me, it was so refreshing, because like you like a rising tide lifts all boats. And maybe if like you do a video on something and I do a video on something, I'll be in your sidebar and people might watch my video, which isn't even like podcasts. Like if I watch the Genius Bar episode on WWDC, it's not going to recommend like the Daring Fireball WWDC episode or the Verge Cat. But like on YouTube, if I watch your video, I might have like John's video and Marquez's video and Justine's video. And that to me is like, that builds a community because everybody is tied together.
Yeah. No, you're so right. Like you hit the nail on the head. It's we're all, whether we, I don't mind it because I recognize that I'm not the best creator on YouTube and I don't make the best video on every topic every time. Just most times. Just sometimes.
Just most times.
But no, it's like sometimes Rene just has an objectively better video on something. Sometimes Jon has an objectively video that the audience deserves to see. And like, so for example, today I made another like change in my content. I was like, I'm kind of the Apple News guy where I do like a couple stories, Apple News. It's like lighthearted, but informative and like lots of jokes sprinkled in. And I was like, I know Jon only does front page tech. Like that's all he does is he does like these 3 tight stories. Everything's written, everything's scripted. And today I was like, no, I just want to make a video about this new iOS update because I genuinely don't know enough about it and I want my audience to know about it. Like I made a video that I was like, I believe that everyone who clicks on this video will be better off is a loose term. But like I believe everyone who clicks on this video about iOS 15.2 will learn something about it and will enjoy the content. And I didn't anticipate the video to do that well. It's not performing the strongest, but I was like, I can either try to serve the algorithm and give people the exact thing that they may have subscribed for, which is like this 3-story Apple News with lots of jokes. I'm also like, I just want to make this video about this iOS update because I found it interesting.
And a lot of times there's not enough to make one of those like really tight videos, and putting out something is better than nothing, which is what I do. If there's nothing, nothing goes out.
But also, like, it's expectations on our part too. Like, I want to cover accessibility. I want to cover education. I want to cover like the environment. And I know going in, they're not the audience for those, especially my audience for those, is nowhere nearly as big as like a leak video or an event video or a review. But I can still choose to. I still get the decision. I can choose to make that. And if it gets like 10,000 views instead of 100,000 views, that's fine because it's the video I want to make. I think it's problematic when there's some sort of dissonance and you're like, no, every video I make deserves 100,000 views, regardless of what it is. Then you're just gonna hurt yourself at that point.
Yeah.
Rene, I have a thing where
you just
the show's over. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Okay.
I've told Jon this a million times, Rene.
So I have a thing where I am really good at predicting exactly how a video will do. Like within 10,000 views, I'll know. And if it's not going to get 100,000 views, I probably won't make it. And part of that is because like I like seeing the channel and seeing consistency. I like that about Front Page Tech. I like that about my brand. It's something that I pitch to potential sponsors. Is like, if you sponsor Front Page Tech, it's not a gamble. Like the views are guaranteed. You can go on, it's publicly available. You can see the numbers. You will get those views every time. In fact, if I do an ad read, this is just a thing that I have, and we're working it into. I have a new contract going into 2022. There's a clause in that where if the episode doesn't get 100,000 views, you'll get the ad read for free. And so, but in exchange, my value's higher because I'm guaranteeing those views. So So that's another incentive for why I probably won't make an episode if it's not 100,000 views. But also, what really helps me is having this show, because this gives me a better outlet. I felt really trapped before, where it was like, I can't make the video I want to because it's not going to get this amount of views, or people aren't going to care. I can't package this in a way that people will care. So Genius Bar helps me talk like long term and just be me, and this is a whole other outlet for me that I didn't have before. But before the show, I felt like completely trapped in that channel.
Yeah.
That's interesting to me, because like I would never do a deal based on views. I would always do it based on CPA, like cost per acquisition, because I know that the lowest amount of views from the people who click the fastest and watch the most videos are going to convert way more than when YouTube pushes it to the larger casual audience.
But that is my audience, that is, I think 60%, no, it's like 55 or 60% of the people that watch an episode watch every day. So it's not like, that is my core audience, and I'm very lucky that that's what I built. It's just like,
that's awesome
content that I can repeat over and over again, that I know you're going to watch every day, but then also that it's like a double-edged sword, because then I can't do anything fun.
Like the funny thing is, I've talked to some really enormous YouTubers, and it's always the exact same thing. They're like, I don't make a video unless I know it's going to get 50 million views. I only want to make the bangers. I don't want to make anything that's only like, that mentality never changes. It's just your cost assessment, like what you think the reward is going to be for the effort put in, gets bigger every time.
Right.
Yeah.
And I use Front Page Tech a lot to do, like, I know that for every like 15 or 20 episodes of Front Page Tech that I do, I can sneak in a video. Like when I see the numbers are consistent, and I have like, because that's how the algorithm works. Like if you're doing well, it's more willing to take a chance on the video and put it in browse. And so when I see that I have like a consistent trend, that's when I'll drop like a Apple's Better Without Steve Jobs video, or Apple Sucks Now video, like about Apple's software. So I do sneak in videos that I really want to make that have a different message in them. But ultimately, that's what I'm doing with Front Page Tech. Like, I think in my Twitter bio, I have, I make dumb videos for smart people. And that's all it is. It's like, I say the things that I want to in the show, but I package it in a way that is like lowest common denominator, like stupid thumbnail face and iPhone 14 confirmed leaks. You know the thing.
So can I be the actually jerk for a minute?
Yeah, go ahead.
So like, this is just the way that I think about it, but YouTube doesn't care on a channel level at all. They never look at a channel. Everything is atomized by videos. So they have no idea if your last 3 videos have done well when they're testing a new video, but it's the audience that actually counts. And if the audience has clicked on the last few videos and had a really positive experience, they're willing to click on the next one, even if it's a little bit different. So what you're doing is you're building audience trust and audience buy-in, and that's what's letting you do those videos. And then the algorithm is just saying, oh, people like these videos, quick, fetch them more of these videos. It's always like running after the audience as fast as it can to give them more of what they like so they don't leave YouTube.
Right. Wow. Well, I don't want them to leave me either.
Yeah. No, John has built something I was jealous of John for a while that I really respect about the man. He has
everything will switch.
Take the compliment.
No, everything is going to switch.
The fucking compliment.
Nope.
You have built an audience of 100,000 people that care about every video you make, and that is awesome. Yeah. It doesn't matter how you did it. It's the fact that you do it, and you do it consistently, and you've done it for years, and I really respect that.
Thanks, man. It doesn't matter how I did it, so more flat sides fake Apple Watch leaks.
Yeah.
As long as there's a little source behind it.
Phil DeFranco pinches people in the throat. I mean, you do what you gotta
do. Yeah. I guess there is some news. Should we talk about news?
Is there?
Hey, John, first I should tell you about the news that matters most to me.
Oh, God, you're the worst. Go ahead.
Go on, hurry up.
I'm there.
Ready? Oh. It's Magic Spoon!
It's Magic Spoon, everybody! Okay, that's really loud. One of our favorite sponsors ever. Wait, did they renew for next year? They did, right?
I don't know. Why don't we get through the ad read before we talk business?
One of our favorite sponsors ever.
One of our favorite sponsors right now.
Right now.
Yeah, no, for real. Magic Spoon, dude, this stuff makes me feel like the boy.
Like magic?
You see that boy? Look, that's Maisie, and that's me. R.I.P. Maisie forever. No, Magic Spoon is a cereal you've always wanted to eat but felt guilty about. I've been going through this thing. It's not healthy where I'll like eat something because I'm so hungry that's like sugary. And then I'm like, oh God, what have I done? And then I just sit in the bathroom for 3 hours like that.
Yeah.
You know what, John? That's because I wasn't eting Magic Spoon.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Did you know that Magic Spoon has 0 grams of sugar, 13 or 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net carbs? Grams of carbs in each serving. That's 140 calories a serving. It's keto friendly, gluten free, grain free, soy free, and low carb. And delicious.
This stuff is so good. Like, this is peanut butter. This one's your favorite.
That's my favorite.
Right?
That is my favorite flavor. If anyone gets Magic Spoon, which they do, I think we mention this every time, but out of every sponsor we've ever had on the show, this is the one that people are always sending us and tweeting us pictures of them opening up their Magic Spoon boxes. Get your peanut butter box. You can get 4 flavors. Make one of them peanut butter.
There's a variety pack. You get 4 flavors. They've got coca, fruity. Fruity's my favorite. Peanut butter, frosted, blueberry, cinnamon. I have yet to try cookies and cream and maple waffle, but boy, howdy.
The maple waffle one I need in my life.
I'm trying to. Can you guys send us some stuff? Can you give us spot of the month for this one, please? Because I would really like that. No, listen, it's so good. It's awesome. You guys can get $5 off when you go to magicspoon.com/geniusbar. Use code geniusbar for $5 off. You guys know them. You love them. We love them. We will love them as long as they sponsor the show and after, if I'm being honest. No,
we're still waiting on that
awesome.
Genius box, though. Magic Spoon. Come on. Sam and I's favorite flavors in one box. It'll sell like crazy. You got to do it.
Make your own Genius box at magicspoon.com/geniusbar. $5 off your order. Promo code geniusbar. Thank you, Magic Spoon.
Thank you, Magic Spoon, for supporting this episode of Genius Bar. Yay! Woo! Okay. Thank you,
And
Magic
we're
Spoon.
back.
And we're back with Rene. Every time.
Ritchie.
I'll turn up the music for him.
We're going to get copyright struck eventually.
Eventually. We haven't yet, though.
But I don't
Mark
want
is going to come and beat you up. I mean, that's not
It comes straight out of the grave.
Yeah, we do have some news, though. Renee, what's the story of the past week that's caught your eye?
I thought we were constricted to today. Do we have to just talk about Apple postponing
No, the last week.
universal control?
Oh, yeah. God.
I wanted that. I wanted to take over people's Macs.
Why are we announcing things early? Why are we still doing that? It's so
I don't
often.
mind that. I would much rather have Craig come out and not say coming this September, but saying like starting this September and then just releasing it for the next year. Like, I just want a roadmap.
But it's
event.
almost in next Mac OS. Like, why
Renee,
did we announce it with this one if it wasn't ready?
I mean, like,
I
the
agree
schedule
with Renee.
slipped.
I want a roadmap. Things slip. Things are hard. I get that. The thing that drives me crazy about Apple is that they just wait until the last second to confirm it. Like, and we all know damn well that Apple knew a month ago that universal control was not going to be ready for this
Craig's like,
launch.
This ain't
So
gonna
it's
work.
like, listen, this is my number one pet peeve with any company, with any person I've ever worked with. If there is a problem, just let me know so that we can all plan our lives around this. If there is, that's okay. It's just like, be upfront about it. Like, I understand that Apple doesn't want the negative press. I have personal respect and am much more lenient on companies. Like, Tesla is a great example. Elon is saying that things are coming. Tesla never says that full self-driving is coming, right? It's Elon that says it's out next week. I will give Elon credit because he's excited. Elon is a person, is a different story.
He's a showman.
But like his product releases, it's like he gets really excited and he tweets it's coming out. Tesla does not do an event where they say full self-driving is out on this date at this time next week. So if Apple could just operate in a way that was more relaxed, I would appreciate it so much. I would appreciate it. Just like, hey, universal control is not going to be out till probably mid-22. Okay, cool.
But then they throw out like Tracker for Android so you won't notice. They're like, no, don't look at universal control. Here's Tracker for Android.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool, though. That was one of the biggest problems with AirTag that I'm glad to see that they finally solved.
Yeah, that's how Travis was tracking
cool.
people. He was kept putting on Android people and just tracking them.
Yeah. They
cool.
They did that after the story came out of like, oh, people are using it to like steal you or something, steal your car.
Canadians,
I
what's up with that? Canada, come on.
AirTag did come out it was April, right? Or May?
Yeah,
was it early?
It was April.
It was April. And yeah, I remember in my initial video, I had tracked a friend that had an Android, that way. But no, it took a while, but hey, it was addressed and that's good. Like, I'm glad to see it addressed.
I like how they called it Tracker for Android. Like, it literally sounds like you're supposed to track somebody. Like, that is its use case. Track your friends.
There's been some. So yeah, that was interesting. I mean, 15.2 came out today. Honestly,
oh wait, hang on, everybody. Hang on. Wait a minute.
Change my state of mind.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Love so hard got him.
Rene, we did the last ad read. The rules are gone, so everyone lean back. I forgot to mention that. That's like the thing after every show. Last ad read is over, so now you can relax. Now it's like,
Okay.
yeah, now you can be like dollar store Rene.
Canadian dollar store Rene. It's
Yeah,
only like
okay.
what, 70% of US dollars.
Yeah, I'm sitting back with my sweater. Okay, go ahead, Sam. Sorry, I had to
Pants stay
make
on,
sure that.
Prosser. Pants stay on.
Yeah,
Yeah, please.
I don't have
please.
pants on.
No,
I never do.
15.2 was awesome. Like, I didn't really care about it until it dropped today, but there's a couple things in here that are pretty amazing. Like, first of all, the app privacy report is nice to be able to see more clearly what apps are tracking you. The Apple Music voice plan, seeing that drop after the October announcement is nice. And as much as I've hated on it, like as somebody, I'm just like getting really fed up with Apple Music's recommendation algorithm. It's just not good
Oh, it's
at all
so
for me.
bad.
So I've been debating with this switching to Spotify and using the Apple Music voice plan for my HomePods because I do ask Siri to play stuff all the time. But most importantly, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on digital legacy. This is a feature that everybody's like, it doesn't matter now, but I really think this is going to be massive in the future. Like it's out. It's like, obviously, hopefully everyone that you care about is still alive.
Yeah.
I think this is going to have really positive effects for people obtaining their loved ones' data and devices going forward.
You know,
Yeah.
They just want their iTunes catalog and they're not going to get it. I mean, it's just like it's.
I feel like this is like, so back in the day, we had a family member that passed away that I think Facebook has something implemented, something similar now where they like will hand over your account or they turn it into a legacy account or something. But a friend passed away and we informed Facebook as like, hey, do you think we could like, you think you could get us that account or anything? And they just fucking deleted it. Like all
Yeah.
like without any warning. So we didn't have any time to like get pictures or anything off of it. Just gone. We were like, hey, this person passed away, provided proof. Can we like have a transfer or something? Nope, deleted. So I'm really glad that Apple, like you said, maybe now you're like, I don't even need that. It's like life insurance. Policygenius.com.
Yeah.
You need it. I make you my if I die, Sam, you get all my shit.
Shouldn't Karina?
No,
She doesn't want it.
not the stuff I have in there. Sam, you weed it out. You'll be the filter, and then you give it all
This
to
is
her.
coupling rules.
Okay.
You gotta make sure nobody else is doing it.
Yeah, Sam.
Was
you
there
get it all.
was there anything in 15.2 that stuck out to you guys other than the things that I mentioned?
Nope.
I was gonna
Rene?
say SharePlay for Mac, but that's not in 15.2. That's in Monterey.
Yeah, that same vein. That counts. SharePlay for Mac. I still need to
They're all
update
just
my
OS now
MacBook
anyway.
Pro.
We just,
Yeah.
all the lines are
Truly.
blurred.
iPhone
So that
OS
was-
coming at dub.
You're on a streak lately, man.
And it's got the flat edges. Flat edge
Yeah.
iPhone OS.
Here's something I want to discuss that I wrote about really late because running a blog by myself is very hard. I understand your pain, Rene. Can you write for Apple Track? And I'll just give you all the ad rev. It's like
Can't write
$4 a
anymore.
day.
I just like I can't do it.
Dude,
Like you
it's-
don't know
it's
how to anymore.
exhausting.
You erased
Yeah,
that knowledge.
I've done it. I've done just like that was like a body of work, and it's like, duh.
Okay, doing something
Yeah.
else now. I mean, you technically write for your videos, don't you?
Yeah, but then I just post them on ReneRitchie.net. Nobody looks at them, and I'm fine.
Oh, okay. I just realized I read this script. I write it and I read it. I could like upload that as the closed captions, but I never do. I just let YouTube like guess.
And then they make them like they're like Vietnamese. That's what I get. Like YouTube decides my shows are Vietnamese all the time.
It's always wrong. Okay, I'm sorry, Sam. Go ahead.
Can you pull the video? I'd like to show a video
Sam,
for the audience.
we are relaxed right now. What the hell are you doing?
I know this was a beginning show thing, but I'm going
Okay,
to play
here
a
you go.
clip and then I want to hear your guys' response. Fascinating interview from Rich DeMuro. Just want you guys to listen to this and then tell me what your thoughts are after Tim replies.
Okay.
There's been a lot of talk about future technology, virtual reality, electric cars. We keep seeing the headlines. What is Apple most interested in looking forward?
Well, that's something we have to keep a few things up our sleeve. And so I don't want to give too much away, but we're very focused on augmented reality. We're very focused on artificial intelligence. We're very focused on autonomy. We're focused on all of these things that are core technologies, and we'll use them in a variety of different ways.
Will Apple have something that's the next big thing?
Of course, Apple will always have something that's the next big thing. And fortunately, we have a lot of things that are the current big thing.
Classic Tim Cook.
Yeah.
All right, thoughts. I have never. Okay, here. Let me share my thoughts first. This is not what a moderator is supposed to do, but I will share my thoughts first, and then I will turn it over to the gallery.
Go ahead.
I have never heard. I have heard Tim Cook talk about these things individually or sprinkled into interviews over the years. This is the first time I ever heard him straight up be like AR and then AI on automation, like basically glasses and headset in the mother trucking car.
Yeah.
He obviously didn't say that, but that is
That's
the clearest
that's
I've
for
ever
us
seen
to
him
know
talk
though.
about
Like
that.
I feel like the regular person, like they're just hearing noises.
Yeah.
They're not putting pieces together.
Is the Apple Car confirmed?
Rene?
What do you mean by confirmed? I mean, like they've been working on it forever. So one day maybe they never shipped the TV set. You never know. Nothing's official until they ship it. The thing that I love about this though is that like Tim is willing to talk about these things because they're not actually products. These are core technologies. It's like, I've talked about this before, like the Mac used to have a CRT and then it moved to LCD. And that was just a core technology that let the Mac be thinner, but it also let Apple make the iPhone, which could never have been made with a CRT, and then the iPad, and eventually the Apple Watch. So it was like an interface. It was something that enabled these products to be made. And he's not saying we're making an iPhone or we're making an iPad. He's just saying these things like augmented reality, virtual reality are going to be like what we think of as LCD or OLED panels today. And the same thing with automation, like machine learning is one aspect today. Another day it's going to be automation and we'll see cars and we'll see like personal robotics and things. But all of those are just enabling forces. It's like the iPhone isn't just a cell signal with a multi-touch display with miniaturized parts. It's an iPhone. And Tim is happy to talk about all the parts, but he's not talking about the actual products yet.
Oh no. What if the AR VR headset is the thing and Apple Car is just a VR game for the headset? What if there is no car?
Maybe it's just the Apple buses and they make the outside look like Jurassic Park so the engineers aren't bored when they're coming to work.
Except there's no dinosaurs. There's just giant Tim Cooks like this.
Tim Cook's
here's the question. Here's a question I want to know. Do you guys believe in your heart that there will be an Apple Car that you and I can purchase one day?
Yeah.
What if it's a fleet and you just license it like Apple Music? Like you have your subscription to the Apple Car fleet.
They would do some shit like that.
Yeah. Same question. Not the same question.
I don't think I say yes, but no earlier than 27. I know people are saying 25, but like, no.
I don't believe that in 3 years.
Maybe we get like. Maybe they have a finished product in 25, but like to get all that regulated and stuff, I don't think it's in our driveways until 27.
Well, that's what Grandma was
Jeff
talking
Williams
about.
said that the car was the ultimate mobile device, and like Apple PR almost chop blocked him right off the stage. That was one of my favorite memories.
Were you there?
I don't remember that happening. That's fascinating.
Yeah, I think it was one of the Wall Street Journal or Recode conferences.
Gotcha.
I forgot that Recode exists.
I mean, I actually I've been working on a video sort of that this clip sparked in me. It's going to come out probably tomorrow unless something else breaking happens. It's going to be called Apple in 2030. And it's basically me rationalizing all of these things that sound ridiculous. Because it's like if you go up to even like tech fans, if you're like, even to us, if I'm being honest, you're like, AR headset. We're like, what?
Yeah.
Apple Car, we're like, okay, yeah, like sure, like it reminds me of like the early days of like, yeah, they're gonna make a watch that 1 billion people are gonna buy, and we're like, yeah, it's gonna the number one watch in the world.
Okay. Yeah, the AR and the VR are easy to like sort of project forward because the VR headset is just like a next generation Apple TV. Why sell people a cheap box for like the whole family when you can sell them $1,000 headsets for each and every individual that has all the content they've already been working on with the Apple TV and iOS for the last 5 years. And then the AR headset is just the Apple Watch. Like why make people lift up their wrist if it's just all in front of them immediately?
Yeah.
So those product categories are just, those are linear progressions of existing product categories. But the Apple Watch, the Apple Car is a completely different thing. And it's gone through many iterations. But it's like, it's not even developed at like Apple Park. It's off in Sunnyvale and a whole bunch of different people working on it with, it's not like built on radar and like the same, like next technologies that everything else at Apple. It's a completely different thing. So that to me is a bigger gamble, potentially bigger reward because the car market is huge, but it's not something that I can linearly extrapolate from their existing businesses, which makes me think like, yes, they're working on it. Will it work out? Will they actually make a shipping product? think that's hard to tell just because it's been up and down so much over the last decade.
Yeah, it has really been. And they just lost like, what, 2 or 3 execs like a month or so ago?
That keeps happening. Like the thing that makes
me
laugh is
wonder what is the reason why like that is a collective thing. Like, is there a reason? Like, do these people not believe in it, or
it's not imminent? But can you imagine if we had the kind of reporting we had now during the iPhone era, and it would be like feud at Apple, Tony Fadell and Scott Forstall fighting over whether it's going to be an iPod phone or an iPhone.
Oh yeah,
massive change. Steve Jobs requires a glass screen for the iPhone. Scott Forstall wins. Tony Fadell humiliated as the iPod phone is canceled. The iPhone goes ahead. Apple keeping engineers trapped in pizza-smelling building in IL. Like, it's just like the whole thing would have been so different if we had the news we had now.
Yeah, you're right. You're so right, Rene. I also just feel like journalism is supposed to like serve people, and I'll be honest, like I think a story once a year about like, hey, some key executives keep departing, but like I don't know how these executives leaving is serving the public. Like, it's like, hey, these guys got a different job. It happened to be the car. Like I don't know. It's like maybe there's some overarching problem. Maybe like Rene said, it's because it's years away and they don't have that time in their career to wait for this thing to may or maybe not materialize. Maybe it's because they're bored. Maybe it's because they don't care about cars. And like, it could be
There's a lot
so
of good
many
offers
things
in that industry right now. Like, people are being offered a lot of stuff to move around.
That's what I'm like, dude. Tesla, I'm sure, is paying crazy. Ford with their electric Rivian, Lucid, they're like, we got this car on the road now. You can be a part of the Rivian R1T out tomorrow, or the Lucid Air out tomorrow.
It's an opportunity of a lifetime in 2 ways, because you could be responsible for shipping like basically the next iPhone for Apple, but also like you can get amazing offers from competing companies right now, and those are 2 very different ways to really enhance your destiny, and you're playing them off each other.
They just all go back and forth, because Tesla will make an offer, and then they'll leave Tesla, go to Apple, and then back and forth.
Yeah, because then it's like, then you see the stories of like Tesla executives depart for Apple. And I'm like, what is this circle jerk? Like, like, we get it. People move around. Just let me know what the car's doing.
I actually posted this video several times because it disappeared from YouTube, but there's this great video with Kramer from 10 years ago where like he's doing this interview and he is so based. And he's just like, what you do is if you're a hedge fund owner and you've got to make your short, all you do is you call up the Apple media and you say the iPhone's going to be delayed, and they love that story. They won't ask any questions. They'll just print it every time. So you tell them that, then you call up the hedge fund.
I saw that video from you. You put that in a video of yours.
Putting it up again because they keep taking it down. So, and he's like telling you basically all, and I remember many times at iMore, there'd be like, an article would go up from a big business publication like Nikkei or Wall Street or something, and I know the information was false. It'd have no byline and it'd be gone in the morning. But wow, did that stock price move? And people are losing real money there. But it's the hedge fund managers and the people who are shorting Apple, or those things they're pushing a lot of rumors to make a lot of money.
Speaking of so JP Morgan put out this just wild thing. They said that for the iPhone SE next year, the headline is, are you ready for this? Apple's most affordable 5G iPhone could turn 1 billion Android users into switchers. My guy.
Wait, was
what?
that
It was. I think it's a 9 to 5 Mac headline, but the story is from JP Morgan. They said that the 5G 2022 iPhone SE has the potential to attract more than 1 billion non-premium Android users. What? No. I mean, I guess the way JP Morgan put it, maybe, but 9 to 5 Max headline, Apple's most affordable 5G iPhone could turn 1 billion Android users into switchers, is very far off.
India? I mean, like, you have some markets like India and Brazil. There's a lot of.
Could you imagine them selling 1 billion units of one device?
If they sell it for like $10 and they sell it and it's manufactured in India,
maybe. I mean, what's the highest one? Like iPhone 6S, and that sold what, like 90 million units, 100 million?
I remember talking with Dieter and like going, is Apple ever going to sell more than 25,000 iPhones in a quarter? Like, is never going to happen. Wow.
So when you were covering at that time, you weren't one of those people that saw the iPhone and was like, this is it, 100 million. No, like, were you a little skeptical when it first came out?
No, so like I had a Trio back then and I watched the iPhone keynote. I was all in on Microsoft. I had Windows, I had a Windows Mobile Trio, I had an Xbox, I had all these things. And for years I watched Bill Gates strut out on the CES stage and say, like, power of software. We're going to make everything work together. You're going to and like it never did. It never worked. Like nothing was the same. And then Apple comes out with the iPhone. And at that moment, I'm like, connects like an iPod. This is all going to keep developing. The internet is coming. They've got this. So I switched over. I'm like, this is the future for what like an ecosystem of products is going to be like.
I think at that time, it was an HTC phone, and it was like, this is a remote for my light back there, but it was literally like this thick. Yeah. And it had Windows Mobile 4 or something on it.
Yeah.
And it had a stylus, and Windows Mobile 4 was like just Windows XP shrunken down. It was awful. It was absolutely awful, but I thought that was the cool. It had a slide-out keyboard, and you could do emails on it. Yeah.
Pocket Word. Pocket Word, Pocket.ie.
I was, how old was I? I was pretty young. I was probably like...
Baby Jern.
Yeah, I was probably like 14, 15.
Were you Sam's age?
Yeah. I thought that was the future. Of course, that's my little kid brain being like, oh, they put a whole computer on this. I use this now. It's Windows, but right here in my hand. And so I thought that was the future. And so when the iPhone came out, one of my friends got it, and he had convinced me. I think I told the story before. His name was Ryan Boehner. Shout out Ryan. He convinced me. Maybe he was making it up, or maybe he believed it at the time because it was AT&T exclusive. People believed that the iPhone, the special feature about iPhone, was that you had your own cellular satellite that followed you around, so you always had service, which was not the truth.
You never had service on the original iPhone.
Yeah, you never had service. I still don't have service.
In 2006, it was unfathomable that the future wouldn't be Windows in your pocket running Internet Explorer. Like if you told anybody it was going to be Unix in your pocket running the Conqueror web browser, they would have thought you were completely out of your mind.
Humans are so stupid. We're just like, yeah, this the future, this but small. Like no one could think.
Yes.
That's why I hate that now. Like I try to preach that now with everyone in the comments that are like talking about foldable phones and all this like stupid stuff. Like we're just making this stuff because we're bored. Like that's not the bigger picture. That's not the future. AR is the future. Like we won't even be holding all these things that you obsess over. We won't even be holding them in 10 years. And I feel like people can't see past that thing. They can't see past the little glass sandwich that they have in their pocket. That was me when I was a kid being like, Windows forever.
Yeah,
that's
really what
have some small token that has like local authentication and cloud connection, and then because of AR, anything will be an opportunistic interface.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally what my video was about, was this conversation. I was just like, I know we're all seeing these rumors of like the VR headset and everything in the car, but it's like, hey, we also all said this, in the past about other things. And like most importantly, like a couple points that I made, it's like in 2010, if you would have told me that there was going to be an iPhone without a headphone jack, and then Apple would sell me the replacement for the feature they removed, and it would become a crazy business on its own, I would have never believed it. It doesn't make you're going to all the world's headphones work with this one thing, and they're going to take it off the popular phone. Okay, buddy, yeah. But it's like, what do you know? They were onto something, because it turns out wireless audio. I mean, Renee's wearing AirPods. I'm wearing AirPods right now, although I do have a wire because I'm podcasting, so I want it to be zero latency. Anyway, they're like, there's a reason. Like humans are dumb, and when you hear these rumors, it's like, listen, it's okay. I'm dumb too.
Faster horses. The customers wanted faster horses.
When are you putting this video out, Sam? Do I have time to like skirt right in front of you?
I mean, it's like the A roll is all edited. I just have to edit some B roll.
I gotta go, guys. If I just put the video out real quick. That's a really good idea for a video.
Thanks.
I'm not going to steal it. I'm just going to watch it.
Yeah, I sit at this desk, and it's just a real casual conversation, and I think it's a good video. Like I really feel like I made some good points, and I was happy with it. It's a fun like Apple off-season video that I think sort of highlights what we're all feeling, which is like, these rumors are crazy.
I'm just going to shoot right for cybernetics. I'm going to skip the whole AR thing and just do the Apple cybernetics video.
Speaking of, real quick, I had a real piece of news that I wanted to talk about, but do you all remember a certain article that went out like last week or the week before from a certain leaker that we will not mention that publishes on an actual like news website that I don't know why they run with this information or let him be a contributor, but that's what they do. An article about Tim Cook leaving and that he was going to run for president.
Really? I missed that. I thankfully missed that.
Yeah. How did you both miss
Did
that?
it
Anyway,
happen?
the article.
Did it happen? Is he
Wait.
president?
Yeah, it
Was this
hasn't
on-
happened yet. I don't think. I think they're
Was
warming up the
this-
campaign.
I drop news.
It was iDrop News. Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna say this to the people watching.
Uh-oh.
I don't normally like throw or like I'm not like I love everybody, but no, they literally hired 2 writers that just like straight up lie and call it exclusive.
And then everyone
I
else, and because it's iDrop News, the other news websites run with it too, and it's
Yeah. No, I reached out to the website and was like, hey, I just want you to know that like the 2 people that you hired as
tattled?
writers. Yeah, because I was like, maybe they didn't do their due diligence. Like because I care about media outlets, and I was like, I don't want you guys to get screwed from bad actors.
Your Apple track
amazing.
score is plummeting right now. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, like I don't ever come at these things from like a nefarious like they're
Yeah.
doing well, so I don't. No, I'm just like no, they're gonna legitimately ruin. I used to like iDrop News.
yeah, exactly.
no
Now
longer
I will
will
never
ever
take them
read in-
seriously. Yeah.
So it was like out of love. I was like, hey, I don't want them to ruin the site that you built. Like you guys have a lot of followers, people care. Like I don't want them to hurt you guys.
At least
But
one of
they-
them. At least one of them has gotten like 1 or 2 stories. The other one is like it could be any Twitter user that they hired, and we're
Dude,
like, yeah,
this-
write stories. Just make it up. Go ahead.
The
Leak
dude
Tim's
has
Cook Pro.
lied repeatedly. They've lied. It's just the fake leaker epidemic starting all over again. And I'm like,
Yeah.
how did you guys not see? Okay.
Uh,
So yeah, no, I did not see that. That is
well, that makes
hilarious.
me. I have to ask Rene because he's the intelligent one of the group right now. Rene, Tim Cook leaving. It's going to happen, obviously. When do you think he's going to walk out?
I think again when he said like 10 years, he's sincere about that kind of thing. Like plans can obviously change, but I think he's got like this is where I want to be, and I want to make sure I have these pieces in the right place, and then maybe he'll do the executive chairman thing the way that Steve did when he left. But I think he's like a lot of the times I think
would
Apple
feel
gets
way
in
more
trouble
comfortable
because
if he
people
did
don't
that.
believe them. And they just like they say what they mean, and people are like, "There's no way they're actually going to do that." So what's the real?
Well, they
plan?
also said AirPower was coming, so we can't believe everything they say.
Yeah, but I mean, they screw up. But I mean, like they tell you what they think at the time. It's like no, like
Well,
Yeah.
they could
AirPower
still
wasn't
screw up.
like a
Tim
fake
could
thing he made to,
trip.
like it wasn't like Phil Schiller's April Fool's joke.
Who's your pick for next CEO, Rene?
Right now, it'd be Jeff Williams. In 10 years, though, who knows? Because Jeff Williams is not that much different in age than Tim Cook. And the way Apple is formed, it's like they have all these basically the senior vice presidents are presidents of their own companies, like their own divisions within Apple. But if it was like anytime in the next couple of years, it's Jeff Williams. And after that,
Does it
could be
have to
like-
go by hierarchy, though? Couldn't they just pick Craig for
It's
fun?
not hierarchy. Like it's like there's very specific things that Apple wants in a CEO. Like when Steve Jobs was grooming Tim Cook for CEO, he made Tim like go into marketing and do all these things that he was uncomfortable. So that he would
There's
understand
nobody
how
more
different
groomed
parts-
than Craig. Have you seen him?
Yeah, I mean, like he's gonna have to add a button. Like that was like a whole thing for him.
Yeah.
But Jeff is like the same thing. Like he's been pushed into marketing. He's had to run product. He's had to do all these things, and he would continue exactly the way Tim Cook has because he's like the logistics person and he can manage Apple very well. While like the hardware teams and design teams are doing it. But I think like if after 5-6 years, it could be like one of the newer people we're seeing just moving up.
I cannot
question-
imagine them, though, without Tim Cook. But I mean, we couldn't imagine them without Steve either. But
Yeah. My follow up to that, Rene, is that who you would want more than anyone, or is it you're just saying like logically that is what all the evidence points to?
He's who I'd want for Apple because I think he would have the greatest chance of succeeding with that or keeping Apple moving in the direction it's moving now. I think like 5 years from now, probably not because I don't think he'd be there for very long because again, he's like pretty similar age to Tim. And after a while, your family wants to start spending time with your money. Like that's always the motivator.
oh yeah,
Like that's why like they go off and they build a castle somewhere and then they're like,
yeah. What
you
the
know,
hell is
like,
Tim gonna do when he walks out? He wakes up at like 3 o'clock in the goddamn morning, and that he's gonna wake
giving
up
all
at
his
3
money away,
o'clock.
too.
Yeah, he's gonna wake up at 3 o'clock after his first day, just being by himself after retirement, and be like, okay, what do I do? I go back now.
He goes to appletrack.com and goes, well, they haven't told me shit today. Oh, the
He'll be
Apple
busy
Car.
with like Nike or something. He'll do like he'll get like a
So,
healthcare.
So you think Apple Car like during his tenure?
Yeah.
Yeah, if things go well, like that is just such a big thing for Apple, and it's not their normal experience, and there's so many things they'd have to do to make the car. That's why I think
They should announce the Apple Car, announce his retirement. He just drives away in it.
Oh, that would be so hype.
Yeah, that's got to be the ultimate exit.
he becomes Apple fellow.
Yeah, just for that, I want him to wait till the Apple car's out and then just drive away. I'd be fine with that exit. Pick anyone else after. Apple could crash and burn. Yeah, Apple could crash and burn after that, and the memory would still be worth it. I don't know. He just got in the car, and we never saw him after that.
Don't know what happened. It was he was just gone.
He's just self-driving all the way to New York in his little
no steering wheel in the car.
Nobody goes to New York. It's terrible.
Oh.
Is that it? Oh, no, wait. I wanted to mention the iMac Pro. Early 2022. Yeah. It's not really news. We knew that, but still.
Spring 22, baby.
I wish that was now, though.
Do you want it, John? Is that your next Mac?
I really like desktop. I really love desktop experiences. I never really liked laptops. I know you could hook it up and do both, but I really like the traditional like desktop, especially for working. Because when I'm not working, I'm not on any of this stuff. I'm on an iPad Mini or my phone. That's it. I don't even use the iPad Air because that's too many steps.
You've been outed.
Yeah, yeah, just the hot sauce next to the nightstand. For real, I was just like I had fallen asleep early. I've been like an old man lately, where I just fall asleep like sitting up. Like the other day, I let my dog outside, both of them, and it was cold outside, and one of them is this little skinny Chihuahua, and she was all cold and shivering. So I was like, "It's okay, I'll warm you up before bed." So I sat on the couch with her, and as she warmed up, my body just went, "Oh, we love this," and I don't remember what happened. I just woke up. What? Yeah, but that's been happening. I have no explanation. Like maybe because it's the weather change and I'm warm and comfy inside. I don't know, but God. I just fall asleep so early. Like struggle to keep my eyes open. I wake up and Karina walks in. I was in the bed. I just got in the bed. I fell asleep. Maybe I was watching TikTok or something. Whatever you do with your time. I wake up and Karina goes, "Of course." I was like, "What? Of course you have hot sauce on your nightstand." And she just takes it and walks out.
She took your hot sauce?
I wasn't done. Well, she does this thing all the time where, like, if I have something, she'll just take it. Like, obviously, I'm done with it. Like, it's
community
empty,
hot sauce.
But I'm not ready. Yeah, I'm not ready. It's not done for me. But she took it, and yeah, I have hot sauce in there.
Did she take your Genius cloth too?
Dude, I barely get this thing. She sleeps with a Genius cloth for real, and I don't even see it. I had to go find it in the bed. Like she put it under all the covers, and I had to go dig it out for the show.
Couples cloth, marketing opportunity, new product.
Oh yeah, just a
couples cloth,
a Genius
cloth Max.
A Genius Cloth Pro Max is just a really big one.
We got to do that.
So yeah, I'm really excited for the iMac. That's like my ultimate experience. That's what I want.
See, the thing with the iMac, I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be my daily.
Why?
You want to use it at night?
Because it doesn't.
Not 32 inches.
You don't know that. Ross Young, come on.
Only 100%
Why would you believe
accurate.
someard who's 100% accurate, Sam?
I know. It reminds me of like when
anyone else said 27 inches, but
it's like when Gene Munster heard about the panels for the first 27-inch iMac, and he's like, "Apple's making a TV." Like, no, Gene. Apple's making a TV.
I remember that. Yes.
I mean, hey, I want to be optimistic and say this is for just the monitor. That would be perfect. I've fallen in love with the Pro Display. I remember a couple weeks ago I was like, I'm gonna return it, not worth it. Dude, it's just so good.
Did you just let it run out of the return window and go, "Oh, what can you do? Guess we're keeping it."
But that's Apple's plan. If they made the iMac 32 inches, you wouldn't buy the Pro Display anymore. Now you have to have both.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
Maybe I would use it next to it, like as a dual. I've just never been into dual displays. But no, the Pro Display XDRs, it's 2 issues for $6,000 is what you pay. It's got vignetting, which means it gets darker on the edges than where you're looking, or darker around than where you're looking, and then it's not 120 hertz. And I fully believe that in June of 2022, when they announce the next Mac Pro, there's going to be a new Pro Display XDR with 120 hertz.
Eyeballs will stop bleeding from the low frame rate.
You bet your eyebrows on that?
John, this is your thing.
Well, you keep saying you're 100% sure. That's a lot of sure. You should be fine.
Have you seen this channel? It's confirmed, John. It is confirmed.
It's confirmed.
Renee, I want to ask you this one-on-one. What are your...
Yes.
Does it
hang
bother
on.
you that I say
I'll
confirmed?
leave. Go ahead. Ask one-on-one. Go ahead.
Do you think I should use the word confirmed, and I may or may not change my behavior based off of it?
I mean, it depends. Like old cynical editor Rene would be like, it's not confirmed until Apple announces it or puts out a press release, because I was trained in old media. But like YouTube Rene is like, come on, get your clicks.
YouTube Rene is like, it was from Ross Young. He's 100% accurate.
Yeah,
No,
I used to.
I mean, you
on
are
the
telling
other
that,
side.
right?
Yeah,
I used to do that. Like I would
I
Moved.
appreciate that feedback.
when you worked doing the Vector channel, and you were less YouTubey, like you had less leeway. I was always worried, like if I say this for YouTube fun, is Rene going to pick it apart?
So
But now,
here's the thing though. Like my boss back then was like, my boss was Crackberry Kevin. Crackberry Kevin was like the biggest YouTube personality before YouTube existed. He's like, his whole tagline was the #1 Apple fanboy. He would do like pictures of him crapping on an iPhone. Like his biggest regret is that Fisher and we were not more like that. He would have loved it if we had done those stuff, but we were like, no, we can't do this. This is not appropriate behavior on the internet.
And now that's
totally
all
harsh
I
in his
do.
mellow.
I think in the last 2 episodes I've held a dildo, so that's where I'm at.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I mean,
John,
like he would give away BlackBerry Storms based on people getting tattoos and mud wrestling. Like the whole internet culture
Wow.
started back then.
We're missing out, Sam. That's what we need to do.
mud wrestling.
I don't know how much of that will get you canceled these days.
We'll give away Blackberries.
Oh yeah, that would be very on brand. We're very up to date
Yes.
on newest tech here on Genius Bar.
Free. There's a big giveaway. Just subscribe to the channel, and you could win a BlackBerry. What name of a passport?
BlackBerry
Is that a phone?
Bold, the original
BlackBerry Bold. You will win a BlackBerry Bold
or a
from
BlackBerry
Rene.
Storm. Yeah, I
Oh,
don't have.
Renee's
I
giving
was
it
so
away.
un-Canadian.
Awesome.
I didn't have BlackBerries. I had Trios.
Oh, dude, the Sidekick. That was the shit from T-Mobile.
Yeah.
Too bad it was like.
Movement.
Yeah, too bad that whole network was held together with thoughts and prayers though. Back then, T-Mobile was terrible.
They've
Well,
gotten
it was
better, I
pre.
think.
It was pre. Magenta.
I said back then, they're great now. I use T-Mobile now.
Oh really?
Yeah, I love them.
Are there
They're-
good carriers in Canada, Renee?
I mean, we have Bell, Rogers, and I was going to say T-Mobile, TELUS. Those are our
Gotcha.
3 big carriers.
Is
Very
that
little
who's the
competition.
best?
Depends. Like TELUS and Bell probably. It's the same thing as the U.S. Like TELUS and Bell were like Verizon. They were CDMA networks that moved over to LTE and then 5G. And Rogers was like AT&T or GSM network that moved over to 5G. So it depends on where you are. And then Manitoba's
Gotcha.
like nuts because they have like 13 different local carriers just in that one province and nowhere else. Like it's an interesting country.
Yeah.
You can come to our country, and I will give you 12 months of Mint Mobile.
That's
And all
all
I have
Ryan
to do
Reynolds
is come
really wants
here.
in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is.
I'm not saying that they sent it to me and I haven't used it and it's in an envelope. But if you
Did you guys
wanted
see
it,
Canada Loves You Back? Did you see that video?
no.
Ryan Reynolds won the Governor General's Award, and they made him a music video for the singer from the Bare Naked Ladies called "Canada Loves You Back."
I love the Bare Naked Ladies.
Yeah, it
Very
is such a good
underrated
video.
band.
It's such a good video. It's on Ryan Reynolds' channel. That, and you've got to watch his Deadpool defense of Nickelback. Those are two excellent.
Also,
That's
okay,
funny.
for real though, Nickelback is not that bad. Do we agree?
I mean, nobody's that bad. We ship everyone off to America, and then you get to
Yeah.
keep Justin Bieber. Everything's great in
Dude,
this
it
world.
felt weird even saying the word Nickelback on the internet. Like, I feel like that's not even in my universe. Like, all I'm allowed to say is
Yeah.
iPhone, an iPad Mini, an Apple Car.
iPhone 12 mini.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift was in an Apple Music or some kind of commercial. We can talk about that. It's fine.
Yeah, I
Should
guess
I
so.
move
Or
to-
you too.
Yeah.
Renee, should I move to Canada? Is it a good place?
I mean, like it's colder, but we have water that's not owned by Nestle. So like you got to pick.
I like colder weather.
I do
Sam.
hate, I know I hate the cold. I'll be honest. I don't know if that might be
But
a
aren't
no
you
for
in
me,
Northern
though.
America anyway? Aren't you basically a belter?
Yeah, I'm in Missouri. I don't know if you're
Yeah.
familiar with U.S. geography.
Yep.
It's like the middle of the country, basically.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with Canada geography or anywhere else because I'm a dirty little
It's
American.
It's America's hat.
I just know Canada's got like the 4 little jigs. It's like a little puzzle. It's like the 4 little big sections.
Keep
and then
going.
So
The 4 jigs. Yes.
There's like a bunch of provinces and stuff thrown.
Uh-huh.
in.
12 provinces, 3
You got
territories.
you got the Canoopsies and like the Toronto and like
Yes, Toronto's like Chicago. And then Montreal is like 6 hours north of New York, and Vancouver is like just north of Seattle. So you have, Toronto's basically Chicago. Montreal is like Boston, and then Vancouver is like Seattle.
Where are you based out of?
Montreal.
Gotcha.
What's your address?
Whatever the
that.
locals. Yeah, whatever the local.
Wouldn't it be
people
the
shop
first
is,
time on this show? I tell you what, Renee.
Yeah.
couple weeks
Just
ago.
accidentally doxing people left and right.
No, I
Come
doxed
over.
myself, dog.
Oh, did
I
you?
doxed myself.
That's how
I
the
got a
That's
package.
how the Walmart person walked home.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, no.
That Walmart person was probably like, "What the fuck?" Like in the middle of Arkansas. Like, so I had a package and I was on the show on Genius Bar, and I grabbed it and put it past the camera and was like, by the way, the camera didn't see it, but me getting cocky, I was like, "Oh, did the camera see that?" And I put my address straight up to the camera and was like, "Oh, future me will totally remember to edit this out." Did not remember, and the show went out that way, and we had to emergency take it down.
Oh no! Did you try? You don't want to trust YouTube's edit tool?
No. So if you're interested, Rene,
Yes.
if you have anything with your address on it, feel free to put it on, and I will for sure edit it out.
It's at Apple Park. Just whatever you want. Figure it out. It's Apple Park.
One Apple Park.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
is the
underneath the
address.
giant rainbow stage. I'm just sitting there, minding my own business.
Well, gents, is there anything else we should talk about before we end this episode?
No, I was just thinking as we're talking, I was like, I want to like do like a little YouTuber meetup. Like I just want to like have everybody in one place and we can just like do
But
it.
not
like,
record it. Like, I just want to be together and just be friends.
it would be kind of fun to vlog it.
No.
Do you vlog, Sam?
No, but I would if my life was more interesting. Like my life right now consists of like wake up at like 10 a.m., type on a computer, record a video, go for a run, and then play video games. Like that's not a vloggable lifestyle. But I think I'm decently good at it. Like I've done some Apple videos where I sort of do it more vlog style, and I think it's good.
My life currently is wake up, write the
Look for your
show.
hot sauce.
Yeah, look for my hot sauce. Try to find it. God damn it. Stop being funny, Rene. Okay, this is my show.
Sorry.
Okay, I wake up. I write the show. I film the show. I edit the show, and I fall asleep like an old man. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Unless, like right now, football season has really impacted my work schedule. Like, and by impacted, I mean I don't work. I turn on the football game, and then I'm like, I would rather do this. And then I just
That's like
do
American
that.
gridiron football.
Yeah, I just watch football, and that's it. So if people wonder, hey, where's Front Page Tech? John's probably watching football and
You're a
listening to
football
Nickelback.
guy?
Yeah, I love football, dog.
What?
Cleveland Brown fans, where we at? Okay, just me?
It's
All right.
you and Stephen Warwick, I think.
Yeah, that's it. Steven and I actually text a lot during the games.
Nice. Do you leak the
has to,
results to
like-
him?
He has to watch the game like through a VPN, pretending to be in like Singapore or something.
That tracks. That's awesome. And then you
All right,
tell
is that
him,
it,
oh,
everybody?
Yeah, guys, thank you for coming, Renee. It was so
Thank
good
you.
to talk to you, man.
Renee, thank you so much. You have to come
For
on
real.
a lot now since we've we
anytime.
popped the Renee cherry now.
And
Can
thank
I
you
say
for
that on the show?
being so patient with us because I
No,
know
no
we had
worries.
scheduled and unscheduled, and I appreciate your patience with us. It
No,
means
it's
a
so
lot.
much fun to be here.
Well, one
Thank
of
you so
my-
much for having me.
One of my favorite humans ever, Renee. This is your spot now. Feel free to let people know the floor is yours, where they can find you if they love you.
I'll be in the sidebar for an iUpdate video or a front page tech video. Just look to the right and then look for like
Renee,
this.
tell us where you're from. Stop being so humble.
YouTube.com/Rene Ritchie. There you go.
Okay.
Great URL.
He's solo
Right.
now, so you have to go watch all his videos so he doesn't quit. If you quit, I will be so pissed, Renee.
I won't quit. I won't quit. I'll wait till YouTube bans me.
I was going to say, when are you going to retire? I just remembered, like, oh, you're retired now?
Yeah,
That's
like
you
what else would I
consider
do?
it?
Like I'd retire and make YouTube videos. Done.
Yeah.
I just realized that, like, so this is like the first, we're within like the first gen of YouTube, I would say, with first, second gen. There's going to be a time where all your favorite YouTubers like retire. They go away.
A lot of them are gone already. A lot of the OG YouTubers.
But no,
Yeah,
they're on
that's true.
TikTok. What?
TikTok.
I went TikTok. They're on TikTok now. They're on TikTok. Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, hey,
Renee,
thank you, Renee.
Renee, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you
man.
guys.
Give it up for Renee.
Yay! Hooray! What other songs do I have? Oh, that's not the one.
Are you gonna play
I didn't
Celine
want that
Dion
one.
in honor of my Canadianness? Is that what it was?
Okay, Renee, quick, give us a joke. Hit us with a joke right now.
All right, so these two muffins are in the oven, and one muffin turns to the other muffin and says, "It's hot in here," and the other one turns back and goes, "Oh my God, a talking muffin."
That was pretty good.
Thanks for watching Genius
That
Bar,
was,
everybody.
that was a better joke than I could have come up with. We
We'll
love you
see you
guys.
next
We'll see you in
week.
the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.